Happy Monday. Welcome back to Wrestling Ski. Hopefully you enjoyed what me and Justin, started off. Yeah, did the first one yesterday just because, family things that came up, so we couldn't do it on regular scheduled. We're going to try to do Wednesdays, but if you didn't check out the first Justin's Wrestling Roulette, make sure you do because, anyone that's been following along for long enough knows that he was here for a very long time, for a couple months there. And, then all kinds of things happened. He had to take a very long break, but it was nice. I had fun. And I didn't have any notes, as anyone that, watched. Like I was writing as we went, just so I remembered everything that we talked about, which was a lot. And it was a great one. We're going to talk about random stuff, stuff going on now, stuff from prior, years, prior eras. Then we're going to do all kinds of stuff randomly. We're going to put out polls for people. We're going to even try to do a live one every month, like a lot of stuff going on with it. But I figured it was, I asked, he said yes, and it seemed like a good, change of pace from just going over all the current programming, which, no offense to the current programming at times, it's kind of terrible. So just a fun thing we're starting. So if you haven't, please, it's Wrestling with Ski presents Justin's Wrestling Roulette. And it's a lot of fun. We're going to be doing again, full-time Wednesdays. So make sure you're paying attention to that. And I'll still be doing these on Mondays and Fridays to go over the programming from the beginning of the week. And then, Monday will be the Friday shows, and still doing the pre-shows for premium live events, as they call them now, and all of that at the same time. But enough of that rambling. Trying to keep this one short for everybody because there wasn't a lot to talk about. And, Justin's Wrestling Roulette episodes, well, they tend to go, longer than these. So, to make up for all the time you give listening to those, I'm going to try to keep this as short as possible. And there wasn't a lot to talk about. And I mean, they needed to have good shows. It wasn't as good, of a Friday night as some people made it out to be, because there was still some really dumb stuff that didn't need to happen. And that goes on both shows. There's a lot of wasted time, but there were, good matches in there. They made decency out of most of it. So, and that's on the Machine side. I think the Machine did a better job than Rampage did. Just my personal preference to all of it. I just think they did, their 2 hours was better than their 1 hour, just because there's just useless stuff, a lot more of it on Rampage. But they did a good job. I mean, if you could put together a show that long without me having to really be pissed about anything, I think that's an accomplishment, especially for the Machine, just because, no Roman. It's really just a lot of rinse and repeat for the most part. And we all know what's going to happen, but I'm one of those. We know it's going to happen more than likely, but if they put together a good match, who am I? What's the point of being mad about it? We know how they are stories right now and how the writing is. Well, as long as they can put on a good match there, I'm okay. And Smackdown started off with a bang. We got to see Drew McIntyre and Sheamus in a Money in the Bank qualifier match go to a double, DQ. And it reminds me back, like 2020 and all that, of the matches they were having in the Thunderdome, which I thought, they did a really good job of. And whenever you put them in the ring together, we know people they're just going to go in there and just beat on each other, which puts together good shows for everybody and good matches. And that's really what the whole thing is about. Again, double DQ. Pretty sure we all can agree they're just going to run it back. More than likely, that's what they'll do. Or they'll put them both in there. It'll be something that we all saw coming, but I have no problem with them in the ring against one another, because they literally just go out there and just beat the bejesus out of each other. And that's better than a lot of the stupid stuff they put out there. So I'm not going to complain if they have them do it again, as long as they don't have them do it again and it ends the same exact way and they just keep running it back. That would be dumb. That would be dumb. Them facing at it again, I'm okay with that. I think we're all okay with that. Again, if you like watching two guys just maul each other, that's what they do in the ring. If you didn't watch their matches from the Thunderdome, watch them, because I think I still have the pictures on my phone. like their backs after they were done with that. They were beating the bejesus out of each other. I know I just keep saying it, but man, they got each other's like KO and Roman. Like they were just beating the hell out of each other there too. Like for a bunch of times during the Thunderdome, they had more, obvious places they can go and things they could do because there were no crowds. But still, good way to start off the show. Good match. And whenever they come back and do it again, none of us will be upset about it unless the match sucks. But, they don't put on bad matches and they're together. They just beat on each other. And again, who doesn't enjoy watching, that? The whooping tells the story, the telemarketer, and then goes and is nice enough to spam call me and kick everything off of that when everything was working so well if you're watching it. But yeah, good way. I liked it better than Lacey Evans defeating Xia Li in a Money in the Bank qualifier. Yeah, I just think because they've wasted Xia so much since they called her up like she was really this big thing down in NXT, and then they tried to do the protector thing, and like it's just I don't know. They still have the fake electricity, which just hurts my brain to no end. Like if you ever actually physically met me or heard what, that really does hurt my head. And I think it's a waste of her. I think she's super talented and she should be used better. Again, did she completely take Mercedes Martinez's head off and knocked her out? Yeah, that was, that definitely happened. But otherwise, she hadn't hurt anybody. And they were really like the big thing. They made her out to be this huge thing at the end of her NXT run. And she came there. She was a protector for like 12 minutes. We didn't see her. And then we got to see her again. And she lost and she needed help from the ring. So apparently, seemingly we saw, rumors that she got injured somehow. So I don't know. We all knew Lacey was going to win. I think that's really the problem. How much they've been pushing her. We knew she was going to win to go into it. But I like them both. I'm giving this new character for Lacey a chance over the last one, see how good it goes, what they do with it, how they change it. Because this her and the Ric Flair and Charlotte stuff before she had to leave was just like nails on a chalkboard. Like that was actually absolutely terrible, in my opinion. So see where it goes. I just wish they'd use Xia better, not have her in that situation. Like someone else could have the match. If we're already gonna know who's gonna win, regardless of who's in it, at least I did. I think they should have it be someone that didn't come in with all that hype and then they've misused, because that's just one more loss for her to keep kicking her, down the pecking order. So I didn't like it, but I did like, a bunch of the match, and it was good to at least see Xia. I just think they dropped the ball. They do that a lot. People come up, everyone can try to argue. They drop the ball a lot. They're good at it. It's what they do. And, hopefully they turn it around with her. I don't know. I don't think they will, but we can always hope that people start using their brains. Then Shotzi challenged Ronda and lost a good one. I mean, the match wasn't the greatest thing ever. Shotzi's tornado DDT from like the apron to the ground there, or whatever it was, till Ronda looked good. And it was better than I thought it was going to be with the two of them. So that's really the big takeaway. Like it was better than we thought. And as I'm sitting there watching going, just from the way they've been locking her in the locker room, all that other stuff, I thought it was going to end up really just dumb. But that was a good point too. Like it was better than I thought it would be. And, that's the important part. Were we shocked to see Natty come out and attack Ronda after? No. We all saw that one coming. But we still got to see, Shotzi getting used again. She lost. It was one of those, yeah, we know what's going to happen here. It was obvious, but at least it wasn't as bad of a match as we thought. Gunther with Ludwig Kaiser defeated Ricochet to become the new Intercontinental Champion. We all saw it coming, but they put on a good match, and I enjoyed it. Do I wish this nicely? Do I wish that they would not have given Ricochet the title? It's kind of like Finn whenever he gets the US title or something. We all know he's just really holding it, and that it really isn't going to mean a lot. No offense to Ricochet. What did that title reign mean? I mean, beat a few people, but second they saw him, Gunther got involved. Like, what? He's going to be the Intercontinental Champion. And he is now. Does he deserve it? Yes. Has he gotten himself in great shape? Yes. Do I still think it looks absolutely wrong without Eichner on the other side of him? Now these Giovanni Vinci, whatever. It looks weird just having, Kaiser on the other side of it, no one else on the other side when they do their pose there. It's just, a weird thing because they could be tag champs and then he could be intercontinental champ, and it would just bring another viable tag team into the mix. So I'm not really a big fan of them not having that. That's really the small thing, with all of that. I don't know why they didn't. I thought he, was doing much better there towards the end of their, tag matches and all their run together in NXT. I thought Eichner was really carrying his own, carrying the matches in some of them, but they wanted to go whatever reason. I don't know what it is. I just think it looks weird not having him there with all of it, just because they could have had all of Imperium and made a big thing out of it. Because that would be okay to go, have some kind of competition in the tag division besides just the Usos, because I think Imperium can work with just about everybody. So could have. They can't anymore. They're not together, but good match. I just wish that, again, Ricochet is like Finn, like, oh, great. He's just holding on to it for someone. And it's not even going to be a very spectacular anything, but at least the match was good. Just like when Finn lost, at least the match was good. He didn't see him for forever. Then he showed up and boom, title match lost, but they did the right thing. All right, one wants to argue Gunther is the right call in that situation. So I'm not trying to, drag him through the mud for that. Again, look at the work he put in to lose all that weight and get even more, to get cut and all of that. Just like, the artist known as Ludwig Kaiser did a good job with that. And I hope they, turn it into something good. I just think it'd be better with Eichner there, because then we could have him as, Intercontinental champion. Those two can get the tag titles one day, or at least have another tag team that you believe, not just people randomly thrown together, which they tend to love to do. And I think that would have helped, but it should be a good title run. And I'm completely okay with him being, up on Gunther, which would still be Walter. But yeah, it should be a good run. And Justin, if you watched last night, if you didn't, whatever, you can still go listen to it. And who would he do? Drew's there, but he has all those matches with Roman. We all know he's doing that when they go overseas. But Sheamus could work with him, just because we all know how good Sheamus is. Those would be good matches. Corbin could lose the last laugh match. Just get mauled, come back. Hopefully they put him back to the Lone Wolf or just something. And he could be really good at that. Like, there's a lot of stuff they could do. It just, when do they pull the trigger and who do they go with? And I think those are two. Drew, Corbin, Sheamus, like, they'll put on good matches with them. So hopefully they don't just start throwing stupid people at them where it's obvious and all that. But we'll see. I like it, though. No offense to Ricochet. Once he got it, we're like, oh, there's a chance. And we figured out it was all done within like a week or two. So sucks, but that's the way it is. And then Riddle defeated Sami Zayn. And again, good match. We all knew going into it. Riddle loses, he's banished from SmackDown. But if he wins, he gets a title shot next week. Like, we all knew he was going to win. And they put on a match that we all expected them to put on. I just think it was, awesome. Paul Heyman got acknowledged. And, Paul had the line of the night while he was sitting there yelling, "Cover him, you schmuck," on commentary towards Sammy. And like, that was gold. That won the whole entire night. And again, started off good. Shotzi and Ronda was better than I thought. Gunther and Ricochet, it was a good match. We all knew it was going to be a good match. And Riddle and Sammy was good. So they put a lot of good stuff together in there. I just, again, wish, they wouldn't use Zaya that way. Try to build her with something good. Because again, she came as the protector. She was there for 6 seconds and then was over. And I thought that was really just dumb and rushed. And they could have done that better. But overall, good night there, which gets us over to Rampage. Eddie Kingston defeated Jake Hager. I'm the biggest fan of it. 2 spinning back fists. Again, it's not a fan of the ending. Like, it's just for what Jake can do. Like, I get why they went that way. Yeah, it's just not my thing. Hate me. Go in the comments. Tell me I suck. I'll take it. I'm a big boy. But I just wasn't a big fan of any of that. Shocker when Jay Lethal and Satnam Singh with Sanjay Dutt defeated Davey Vega and Matt Fitchett. Because we all thought that big dude was going to lose. Like, whoo, shocker. Chris Statlander defeated Red Velvet with Kiera Hogan, Jade Cargill, and the artist formerly known as Malcolm Bivens out there ringside. Stat gets the win. Kiera Hogan attacks. Anna Jay comes out to even it out. Here comes Jade. And then here comes Athena, and they hold her back, and everything stops. Again, it wasn't the worst match ever is just very predictable. It was better than the one before that, the tag match. No, I don't even know why they did it. It was like done like that, which I didn't like. But the main event made up for it. FTR and Trent Beretta defeating Will Ospreay and Aussie Open. I loved it. That's the first time I actually got to see, Will Ospreay, just because, timing wise, and getting to see the product from over there and all of that. Like there's only so much time in one day, and so much, money to go around to be able to have all these things to be able to see it. And I thought it was a great way to close out the night. It was weird that Will Ospreay makes his debut and loses, but he didn't get pinned, so I guess it's not that bad of a thing. But I thought that was a hell of a main event. I thought that was very deserving of the spot that they were in, but the rest of the show was very much a normal Rampage, I guess is the way to say that. And I still want to know what the hell, and Trent hit it and went for the finish, what the referee was just standing there looking at him for 2 or 3 seconds before he started, counting. That one kind of baffled me a little bit too. But yeah, that's why. But that match did not make up for the rest of the hour, which had a bunch of why are we even watching this kind of moments. So again, go in the comments. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me if you agree. I'm a big boy. My feelings, they don't get hurt very often. I get pissed off. Stupid people, but different opinions on wrestling is not one of those things that's going to get me going psychotic. But again, there were good matches. Drew and Sheamus, good match. Shotzi and Ronda, was it the greatest thing ever? No, but was it better than I imagined it was going to be? Yes. Gunther and Ricochet, yes. Riddle and Sammy, yes. Stat and Red Velvet was still, a fairly good match. Decent, about what I expected out of it. And then again, I even tweeted out while I was watching it that FTR's in it, so we should be in good shape regardless, and it was good. So the wrestling, definitely won out on SmackDown, which normally I never thought I'd say. And they did have some wasted time. Again, Jay Lethal and Satnam Singh, like we thought he was going to lose his debut match, and especially against those two. No offense to them. Hopefully Zaya isn't hurt, because that would just push her back even far. I just don't get, like, they called her up and all of that. And next week, Friday, we get to see Riddle and Roman for the titles. We all know Roman's going to win somehow. But I just hope once it gets stupid that they have a great match going before it gets stupid, because that's about all you can really hope for. Please let the match be good. Well, let them have a good 20 minutes or so before you get egregiously stupid, because we know it's going to get stupid. At least let them have a good match before we get there. That's all I'm asking. I don't think it's too much. I think all of you will agree. Let us at least have a good match before the impending stupidity ensues. So that's all I got. Like, just please let us enjoy it first. And that's where I'm going to jump off, though. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thanks, everyone. Yeah, it goes over to the Facebook page. If you're not on there, find the Facebook page at Wrestling with Ski. Follow along. With me and Justin, we post all kinds of stuff there. Everything on Twitter. Wrestling Ski, and I try to live tweet during events as long as she lets me watch them live. I'm on Spotify, Apple and Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Audible, Castbox, and again, good pods. That all you guys on there. Thank you, Austin. Thank you for the support. Yes, we will do a show one day together. We have to. And if you haven't checked out first Justin's Wrestling Roulette from yesterday, please make sure you find that. And I post the videos when I'm for those will be on Facebook and Rumble. Otherwise, everything goes on YouTube and Rumble, regardless of anyone on it with me. So you can go and catch up on all of them, see what it looks like around here, see how crazy I am. See if I look as crazy as the voice makes me sound. But I appreciate it. We'll be back on Wednesday for the first on time Justin's Wrestling Roulette to see what he's got. He said he's already going to be done with it tonight. I'm looking forward to see what he gets me, see if he could stump me on anything, because it was a lot of fun. And then I'll be back on Friday to go over Raw 2.0 and Dynamite. So be good to each other. Again, don't forget, look for the first Justin's Wrestling Roulette from yesterday. And then there's another one coming on Wednesday night. So be prepared for that. And until Wednesday, my friends, be good to each other. Peace.